Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has signed into law the 2024 appropriation bill of 800 billion naira, a day after he presented the budget estimate to the State House of Assembly led by Edison AE. The ceremony was witnessed by the Deputy Governor Ngozi OJO, some members of the State Executive Council, present and former lawmakers who support Governor Fubara, and some chairmen of the People's Democratic Party at the local government areas. The governor in his address said the estimated 800 billion will be well implemented to provide critical infrastructure like the second phase of the Kalabari Road and meet the socio-economic needs of the people. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Zacchaeus Adango has resigned. Adango, who was one of the cabinet members of former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, said his exit from office was based on personal principles and not connected to the political crisis currently rocking the state. Earlier on, I spoke with Jide OJO, a political affairs analyst from Abuja, to speak more on the political crisis in Rivers State. I began by asking Jide his take on how the governor sent an 800 billion naira budget to a four-man House of Assembly, and in less than 24 hours, he had his budget passed into law.
First and foremost, you cannot present appropriation bill to a House of 4 members out of 32. And aside from that, the legislative process for any law, this is not just confirmation. Any law is that it goes through the first reading, the second reading, it goes to committee stage. From committee stage, if there is need for public hearing, you do public hearing. Then there is a report back before the final passage. When was the first reading done? When was the second reading done? Which committee sat on this? So it's just absurd. I have never seen this kind of, impunity in my life. How could you submit a budget to a 4 member who does not even form a quorum of the assembly? You know, a quorum of 32 is 11. You are supposed to have a quorum, and then there should be committee working on the budget. There should ordinarily be budget defense. If you look at what's happening at the federal level, the heads of ministries, departments, and agencies are being summoned to come and defend their last year's budget and what they have in this year's budget. So, for the fact that all of these processes and procedures were not observed, I guess this cannot be regarded as an appropriation law by any stretch of imagination.
Jide, because of time, briefly tell us how you think all these ongoing absurdities in Rivers State can come to an end.
When the leaders of thought, the people who matter in Rivers State, when the president of the country decides to mediate, it will end. Because there is no legal prescription. The two parties have gone to court. And you know the court processes take very long to go through. It may take years. It is just going to be in order for President Tinubu to wade in, for former Governor Peter Odili of Rivers State to wade in, for religious and traditional rulers in Rivers State to wade in, for people of good conscience. Maybe National Peace Committee, headed by former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, can also be asked to wade into this whole crisis. Perhaps we can also have someone like former President Goodluck Jonathan also being asked to wade in. But leaders of thought, people of good conscience, needs to wade in to resolve this crisis once and for all.
That was Jide OJO, a political affairs analyst, giving his take on the crisis in Rivers State.